Hi, I'm Shauna Fischhaber with VA Disability Group, and today we'll be discussing the additional state benefits available to New Mexico veterans who have a 100% rating with the VA, as well as a few other benefits veterans should be aware of. We understand that navigating all the available options can be overwhelming. We hope this information will help simplify the process and point you in the right direction to take advantage of these benefits. Visit our website where we'll have more detailed information regarding eligibility and application processes. We will have a link in the description box below. New Mexico has 2 state veterans homes. Eligibility is based on clinical need and setting availability. Each state establishes its own eligibility and admission criteria for its homes. To be eligible, you must be a citizen of the United States who enlisted or was drafted, inducted, or commissioned in the armed forces and was assigned to active duty. You must not have been separated from the armed forces under circumstances amounting to a dishonorable discharge. Lastly, you must have been a resident of New Mexico at the time of entering or discharge from the armed forces, or a resident of New Mexico at the date of admission. We recommend that you talk with a VA social worker near you about eligibility requirements and to create a payment plan. New Mexico has 2 national cemeteries and 4 state cemeteries. National burial benefits include a grave site in any of the VA national cemeteries with available space, opening and closing of the grave, perpetual care, a government headstone, marker, or medallion, a burial flag, and a presidential memorial certificate at no cost to the family. Burial benefits are available for spouses and dependents as well. Keep in mind that state cemeteries eligibility is similar to national cemeteries, but may include residency requirements. New Mexico offers several tax exemptions to resident veterans. I'll touch on these briefly, but we will have more resources available on our website. An income tax exemption is offered on military retired pay. For the 2023 tax year, the amount is $20,000. In 2024, that amount will increase to $30,000 and will continue through 2026. Thrift Savings Plan does not withhold taxes for state or local income tax, but is reported annually on IRS Form 1099-R. Military pay received by a resident service member serving on active duty is exempt from New Mexico personal income tax. Military disability retirement pay received as a pension, annuity, or similar allowance for personal injury or sickness resulting from active service should not be included in taxable income. Some of the payments which are considered disability benefits include disability compensation and pension payments for disabilities paid either to the veteran or their families, grants for homes designed for wheelchair living, grants for motor vehicles for veterans who lost their sight or the use of their limbs, or benefits under a dependent care assistance program. DIC payments are tax-free. New Mexico does tax military survivor benefits. The only exemptions offered are for medical expenses, age, or for low and mid-income that are offered to all residents. Disabled veterans and their spouses are eligible for a property tax exemption on their principal residence. You must have been honorably discharged from the U.S. Armed Forces and have a permanent and total service-connected disability rating with the VA. Additionally, unremarried surviving spouses of eligible veterans qualify for the exemption if they continuously occupy the property as their principal residence. If the spouse remarries and divorces, they lose eligibility for the exemption. To apply, you will need to complete the application, have a copy of your DD-214, a summary of benefits letter demonstrating your permanent and total status, and proof of residency. Annual filing is often required, and you should contact your local VSO or local tax assessor's office for further details. We have contact information on our website. New Mexico resident veterans or their unmarried surviving spouses can get up to $4,000 property tax exemption. To qualify, veterans need an honorable discharge after serving at least 90 continuous days on active duty or less if discharged due to a service-connected disability. The veteran must also be a state resident. Surviving spouses qualify if the veteran met the criteria before death. If the spouse remarries and divorces, they will lose the exemption. Surviving spouses who are also veterans might qualify for both veteran and surviving spouse exemptions. To apply, you will need to complete that application form, provide a copy of your DD-214 or equivalent, and proof of state residency. Again, you can contact a VSO or your local tax assessor for more information. Annual filing is often required, so be sure to ask about that detail when filing. If you're entitled to a veteran exemption, but you do not have sufficient real estate or personal property to claim the full property tax exemption, you may be eligible to pay a reduced motor vehicle registration fee. The registration fee is reduced by 2/3 the rate charged on vehicles the veteran owns. It appears that the same application for the property tax exemption is used for this purpose. If this applies to you, you should contact the Department of Veterans Services for more information on how to apply. A veteran is exempt for the motor vehicle excise tax if they are a resident of New Mexico and meet the following criteria. The veteran must have served in the armed forces and suffered the loss or complete and total loss of use of one or both legs at or above the ankle, or one or both arms at or above the wrist. The injury could have occurred while serving in the armed forces or from a service-connected cause. Again, this exemption appears to fall under the property tax application process, and you should contact your local VSO for more information on proper filing. Any honorably discharged veteran of the armed forces is eligible for the New Mexico Veterans license plates, provided they can show proof of service and eligibility. The following license plates are available free of charge for any qualified veteran who can provide proof of eligibility. Disabled veteran, 50% or more, Purple Heart, Pearl Harbor survivor, ex-POW, and Medal of Honor. The Armed Forces license plate and Women Veterans plates are available for a one-time fee of $17. Recipients are then responsible for any annual vehicle license fee which may apply. The Gold Star family license plate is available for any family which has a son, daughter, stepson, stepdaughter, parent, or step-parent that was killed in combat. There is a 4-plate limit per family. The first plate is free, and all fees will be waived over the lifetime of the recipient. The remaining 3 plates are also free, but these recipients are responsible for an annual $17 plate registration fee. All honorably discharged veterans or anyone currently serving in the National Guard will have 5 points added to their final passing numerical scores on screening examinations performed by the State Personnel Office. Honorably discharged veterans with a service-connected disability will have 10 points added to their final passing numerical score. For the appropriate preference points to be given, an applicant must provide a DD-214 and a rating decision, if applicable, at the time of application. Any business in the state of New Mexico can qualify for up to a $1,000 business tax credit for each hire of a recently returned veteran. You should contact the New Mexico Taxation and Revenue Department for additional information. New Mexico offers a wide variety of educational benefits to resident veterans and their dependents. It is important to note that state educational benefits can often be used in conjunction with the national educational benefits, such as the DEA program. If you're interested in learning more about the DEA program, check out our national benefits video. Veterans, their spouses, and their children no longer need to wait to establish in-state residency status when applying for college. Those who wish to use their GI Education Benefit Bill can now immediately take advantage of less expensive resident in-state tuition rates at any state-funded college, university, vocational school, or vocational training program. Contact a local VSO or the university you plan to attend to learn more. Children between the ages of 16 and 26 whose veteran parent was killed in action or died because of their wounds incurred in battle qualify for a full tuition waiver at any state-funded post-secondary school. A $150 stipend per semester will be issued to help with books or fees. The Children of Deceased Veterans Scholarship applies to matricular fees, board and room rent, and books and supplies. To be eligible, the child must not be under 16 and not over 26 years of age. The veteran parent must have been a resident of New Mexico at the time of entry into military service and entered military service during World War I or II, or during any action in which the U.S. military forces are engaged in armed conflict, and was killed in action or died of another cause during the conflict or as a result of such military service, or a deceased member of the New Mexico National Guard who was killed while on active duty in the service of the state after having been called to active duty by the governor, or a deceased member of the New Mexico State Police who was killed while on active duty in the service of the state. You will need to complete the application and include a copy of the veteran's discharge papers and death certificate. These documents should be submitted to the Department of Veterans Services. Contact your local VSO for more information on how to apply and the most current application processes. The Vietnam Veteran Scholarship is for resident undergraduate and graduate students. It provides tuition, fees, and book allowances to Vietnam veterans certified by the New Mexico Veterans Service Commission. To be eligible, the student must be a certified Vietnam veteran with the New Mexico Veterans Service Commission with an honorable discharge. You must have either been a resident of New Mexico at the time of entry into service or have lived in the state for 10 years or more. Additionally, you must have been awarded the Vietnam Campaign Medal. Each scholarship is for a period of 1 academic year and is renewable if the student maintains satisfactory progress. You should contact the eligible institution's financial aid office for application instructions. The Wartime Veteran Scholarship Fund is for military war veterans certified by the New Mexico Veterans Service Commission. The scholarship covers the cost of tuition, required fees, and required books directly associated with undergraduate, master's, or doctoral degree work. The amount of tuition to be covered by the scholarship shall not exceed the highest full-time undergraduate tuition charged at the educational institution. To be eligible, the student must be a resident of New Mexico. A scholarship application must be submitted to the New Mexico Department of Veterans Services, and you must provide a certified copy of your DD-214 or equivalent showing a combat campaign or service medal and an honorable discharge. Applications will be approved on a first-come, first-served basis. Each scholarship is for a period of 1 academic year and is renewable if the student maintains satisfactory progress. You should contact the eligible institution's financial aid office for application instructions. Any veteran who left a New Mexico high school before graduating to serve in World War II, the Korean War, or the Vietnam conflict may be awarded a valid high school diploma issued from the high school they were attending. You will need to submit an application and a copy of your DD-214 to the State Department of Veterans Services. New Mexico offers several recreational benefits to resident veterans. I will go over them briefly, and more details and links to applications will be available on our website. A New Mexico veteran rated at 50% or higher service-connected disabled may obtain an annual free day use pass and 3 one-day camping passes. A New Mexico veteran rated 50% or higher service-connected disabled may obtain a free state monument and museum pass for personal use only. Every Veterans Day, resident veterans with an honorable discharge and those on active duty, along with their spouses and children, are entitled to free use of any New Mexico state park. Admission fees will also be waived for campsites, the Museum of New Mexico, the New Mexico Museum of Natural History, and the New Mexico Museum of Space History. New Mexico service-connected disabled veterans can get a $10 small game and fishing license regardless of their disability percentage. You will need to show proof of disability to the Department of Game and Fish when applying for your hunting and fishing license. Any New Mexico veteran rated 100% service-connected disabled is eligible for a free lifetime New Mexico small game hunting and fishing license. To expedite verification of disability status, enclose a copy of your DD-214, a decision letter demonstrating your disability rating is at 100%, and proof of residency. Once approved, a disabled veteran card will be issued and serve as your license. It is valid for small game hunting and fishing. The deer license portion of this privilege must be applied for annually. Disabled veteran card holders may apply for the public land deer draw at no charge. However, no preference is given in the draw. Any active duty military personnel, National Guard, or Reserve member who is legally domiciled resident of New Mexico can apply for a temporary active duty fishing or small game hunting license. Applicants must show proof of residency and not claim residency anywhere else. Applicants may also apply if they are on active duty outside the state but are currently on leave in New Mexico for not more than 30 days. Hunting licenses for deer, antelope, elk, wild pigs, and turkey may be sold to non-resident disabled military members or veterans at resident license fee rates if the applicant is undergoing a rehabilitation program utilizing hunting activities sponsored by the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs or an authorized nonprofit organization. Military discharge papers filed with county clerks in the state will be available only to the veteran who filed them, the veteran's next of kin, or a person holding the veteran's general power of attorney. Thank you for joining me to discuss the ancillary benefits for disabled New Mexico veterans. Check the description box below for a link to the New Mexico State Benefits page on our website. While you're there, take a look around to see other resources we have available. Leave a comment on this video if you have any questions or if it was helpful, and let us know what other content you would like to see from us. Thanks, and have a good one.